So let's do one thing. Let's go to the EC2. And if you see over here, I have one EC2 instance and it is getting initialized. So let's do one thing. Let's wait for 2 minutes for the status checks of 2x2 to complete, so that we are not really cheating on. Alright, so now you see the status checks of this EC2 instance is 2x2. So let's also verify whether we are able to log into the EC2 instance once. So I'll do a SSH-I, I'll specify the key ID and let's quickly verify. Perfect. So now you see we are even able to log in. That means this specific EC2 instance resource is actually created. Great. So now let's go to the CloudFormation and let's click on refresh. And even now if you see, the create is in progress. So now what CloudFormation is expecting, that it is expecting one special signal that the EC2 instance should give to CloudFormation, stating that the application or whatever you are running is configured and you can go ahead and mark it as success. So now let's do one thing. Let's go to the EC2 instance and let's manually send the success signal to CloudFormation. So this is one of the sample code where you are sending a CloudFormation signal of success is equal to true to a specific stack name. The resource name is my EC2 and the region is US East 1. So I'll copy this up and I'll go to the EC2 instance and let's paste this. And what we have to do is we have to make sure that our stack name is right. So I believe our stack name was wait demo and the resource name is my EC2 and the region is US East 1. So this is the resource, this is a my EC2. The region where we are launching this is US East 1 and the stack name is wait demo. Alright. So now what will happen is that once we send this signal, so even now currently the create is in progress. So after we send this signal, CloudFormation will then assume that this specific EC2 instance is successful and then it will process its associated dependencies. So just to revise, once we send the signal, CloudFormation will assume that this EC2 instance is successfully launched and then it will associate its second dependency, which is this specific security group. So let's go ahead and deploy our changes. So I'll call it as wait demo. The resource is my EC2. I'll press enter and now there is no output. That means the success signal has been sent to CloudFormation successfully. So now as we refresh, you see the create complete has been successful. So one thing that I wanted to show you is that after this EC2 instance create is complete, then now create in progress started for the second security group, which has the depends on attribute, and then the create complete is also done for the security group, which is dependent on the EC2 instance. Now this is possible because of the creation policies. Now let me show you. This is only possible because of creation policies, because it allows you to send a specific success signal after the application is configured. So currently we sent that successful signal manually, but this is generally at the last after your application is configured and working properly. So you can pass it in the user data. So once your application is configured and is running successfully, the last step would be to send a success signal to the CloudFormation. Now, if you do not really have a creation policy and you just have the depends on attribute, then what would happen is that CloudFormation would only verify whether the EC2 instance is created successfully, and after that it would immediately go ahead and launch the security group. It will not really check whether the application within the EC2 instance is up and running properly. Perfect. So this was about the creation policies. Now one important part to remember is that creation policies are recommended to be used for EC2 instances and auto-scaling groups. But for other resources, you have wait conditions and wait condition handlers. Now, a wait condition and wait condition handler are very similar to the creation policies. So let's look into how exactly it looks like. So now you have a wait condition handle. So this is a wait condition handled resource. So what this resource will do, that it will have an endpoint which is a pre-signed URL, and what your application is supposed to do is that it is supposed to send a success signal to that specific URL which is created by the wait condition handler. Now, within the wait condition, so this wait condition is like a container, and within the container, you have a depends on attribute which is EC2 instance, and within the properties, you're referring to my wait handle. So this you're referring to this specific my wait handle, and you're also specifying the timeout value. So one important part to remember is that creation policies are recommended for EC2 and auto scaling group. You can even work with EC2 with my wait conditions, with the wait condition and wait condition handler, but this is something which is not really recommended. However, for other resources as well, you can specify wait condition and wait condition handler. One important part to remember is that wait condition handler, it will basically create a pre-signed URL. Basically, it's a URL where your application will send a success signal to. Alright. So that is the URL which this wait condition handler will create within the wait condition. So this is a wait condition is a container which has a depends on attribute for the EC2 instance. It has the handle where it specifies the name of the handler and it contains the timeout value. So this is it about the wait condition handler, the creation policies and the depends on attributes. So I hope this has been informative for you, and in the upcoming video we'll be discussing about the CloudFormation custom resources.